so I have weaved in my black tails, so all fours all weaved throughout the work, and I've also stuffed inside, so I equally stuffed all the way along so it's nice and even. So that's all done, and now what we're going to be doing is adding some more wire to this previous wire. So that's why we don't cover fully, is because we're going to interlock new wire into these two hoops here. So what I did was, off camera, was I cut 4 foot worth of wire, so that's roughly 48 inches, and I folded that in half and then half again. So this is about a foot long, and on one end is the 2 ends and a hoop, and the other is the 2 hoops. So now what we're going to do is get the 2 ends like so, then you feed that, the 2 ends, into the 2 hoops from the previous wire, then pull all this through until they meet right there. You can squeeze and twist that new wire around just to secure it. Sorry, let me just twist it off so you don't hear the scraping sound. There we go. So now I twisted this a bit more and twisted all the way up like so. So now what we're going to do is wrap all this wire with some more tape until you get to that other end, and don't cover the end again, so leave about 1 inch off. So I'll just do that quickly. Right, so I've wrapped all my wire with my floral tape, so it's all the way apart from that last little bit that's exposed, because we'll be adding some more wire later. So this is how it looks. So now we're just going to be adding more length to it. So what we're going to do now is I'll do another purple round with you, and that will be for a few rounds. So we'll be doing round 50 together, and this will keep going, so we're just adding this purple section and the yellow belly. So we'll be working up to round 68. So that will be an additional 18 rounds after we do this one together. So just keep track of how many you do. So what I'm going to do is I'll get prepared and I'll do this round with you. So I'll be right back. So I've got all ready. Sorry about that scraping, it's the end of the wire. So please ignore that. So now it will be a bit more awkward because we've got more wire. So what we're going to do is what we've been doing the whole time. I do apologise, is that first stitch there. So we've changed the colour, the last stitch of the last round. So now we just carry on. So this is your first stitch of the new round. So you'll finish on that yellow V, you'll change back into the purple, and that will be your last stitch. So change the colour at the end of the round. Don't worry about that, just make sure you cover your whole wire generously with that tape. I'll try my best on the camera to do this round with you, and then I'll leave you to it till the end of round 68. So like we've been doing the whole time. I'm so sorry about the camera. Let me try and do it at this angle, just so you can see what I'm up to. Try and just, yeah, at least you can see what I'm up to there. So you just keep adding your single crochets in each stitch, like so. And then just in that last purple V, you change into your yellow. So remember, you bring that purple round, put it on the other side of the wire, and get your yellow like so. Ekans has been in a very awkward position, just try and fold him. So now go into that, pull that tail down, go into that V, that last purple one, pull that purple tail, just tighten it up a bit, get that yellow, hook it, pull it through, pull some up and loosen it like we've been doing, and wrap and finish that stitch and pull that purple a little bit. So when we changed into the yellow, that was our first stitch, so this is our second, now our third, fourth, just remembering to catch that yellow tail, it's very fiddly unfortunately on the camera, but I just wanted to cover this round with you again and leave you to it for the rest of the rounds, the 18 rounds. So we're just adding the length of our Ekans. Just trying to get, oh, undo that one and try again. And then catching that tail. Go into that last one there. And pull that yellow back. Get that purple around your wire and pull it up. Come on, there. And then change colour. So changing the colour at the end of each round. So remember to give that purple a bit more, like make that purple a bit more loose, like so. Finish your single crochet and you can tighten those two tails. So now that is the end of that round. So I hope that helped. So you're just doing exactly the same as what we have been doing. So you were just placing your purple stitches, your single crochets, up until that last purple V, change into your yellow, finish the stitch, then you place your other seven yellow crochets, then into that last yellow V there, you change back into your purple, and that's the end of the round. So what you're going to do now is you're going to do the rest on your own, so that will be the next 18 rounds, so up to round 68 of just doing exactly the same as what I've just done, and I'll meet you at the end of round 68. So I'll see you in a minute. Hello everyone, this is how my work is looking at the end of round 68. I've moved into my living room, so that's why it's a little bit different. So this is how it looks, and I stuffed as I went. I just need to stuff a little bit more, so just stuff little and often, and I have folded this over, so just fold it to how you're comfortable, as long as you extend it as you extend your pattern, like your project. So I folded it to stop it from hitting me in the face. Right, so as we're changing colour, I know we've changed colour in the last stitch. I haven't worked that last one because we're changing into our black now. At the end of round 68, change into that black yarn, so we're going to add a stripe. So I thought I'd just tell you that, and I'll do a couple of rounds off camera. It's just add in that black stripe, so repeat round 42 and 43 and meet me back. So attach your black yarn, replace the purple with the black, change to your yellow, then change back to your purple, do your yellow belly, and then I'll meet you back. So just do the next two rounds exactly the same as round 42 and 43, and I'll meet you back. Right, so now I've just done round 69 and 70. They're the same as round 42 and 43. Changing into the black yarn and back to the purple yarn. So just rewind the video back to those points if you need to have a look how you do it. So this is how my work is looking. And like I said, it does twist round, but we will twist it properly at the end, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at the moment, and we will weave these tails in soon. So now I thought I'd just show you, and now we will do round 71 to 74 of just doing the purple and the yellow round and round for the next, so that's 71, 72, 73 and 74. So do 4 rounds of just doing the purple and yellow, so just keep doing that, and I'll meet you at the end of round 74. Right, so this is how my work is looking at the end of round 74. So we're just adding the purple section. Now we're going to add our black stripe and back onto the purple. So if you just want to repeat that stage, that was round, like the same from round 42 and 43. So just changing the purple to the black, and like so, you don't change into your purple stitch in the last one, you change to your black yarn. So I'll do that and I'll meet you at the end of round 76. Right then, so this is how my work is looking at the end of round 76. So you were just adding your black stripe, then changing back to your purple, going all the way around. So you have 4 tails that we'll weave in next, just like so. So this is how my work is looking. And now we will be doing this really long section, and just stuff as you go as well. So I'll be stuffing a little bit in a minute. So we're just going to be doing this long section here. So now we're going to be doing just the normal, adding the purple section, so all this section here, but on this end. So that will be adding another 19 rounds. So we will be doing from 77 to 95. So if you need any help, just rewind to an earlier part of the video if you need any help with how you do the purple bit. But if you do know, it's just straightforward, doing exactly the same as what we've been doing. So we're just adding another 19 rounds to this. Okay, so remember it's from round 77 to 95. So I'll meet you at the end of round 95, adding this section to this part. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit, and just remember to stuff your work as you go as well, and weave these tails in. So I'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone, I'm back in my bedroom, so I'm back on my table. So here we go. So this is how my work is looking at the end of round 95. So we're adding this long bit of purple. So this is how he's looking. I know he's twisting round, but like I say, I know I keep repeating, but don't worry, we will straighten him out at the end. So here's my bit of wire. We will be adding another bit in a little bit. So in a few more rounds we'll be adding some more wire. So now what we're going to do is add our black stripe. So like before, just go back to round 42 and see what I do. So we will do a black stripe and then another round of purple. So that will be round 96 and 97. So repeat round 42 and 43, and I'll meet you back in a bit. Okay, so now I've placed my black stripe in, so that was round 96 and 97. So we were just putting in our black stripe and our normal purple. So just a little tip, all you're doing is replacing the purple with black, then going back to purple. Just remember you can cut the black because there's not that many stripes. We don't use black that much, so we're going to be adding the purple section here and then adding another black stripe. So since back there, so back to where our first stripes was, it's very much repeat. So you do this section, little section, big section, little section, and then your last black stripe, and then we do start changing a little bit when we start narrowing out the tail a little bit, and then we'll add the rattle. So we're very much near the end of making our Ekans amigurumi, and now we'll be attaching more wire. We'll now attach more wire. So what you're going to do is cut another 4 foot worth of wire, then again fold it in half and then half again, like I have. So now, like so, you've still got your 2 hoops on one end and the 2 ends and a hoop on the other. And now you're going to hoop through that hoop from the previous wire, and then you wrap your tape around the whole thing. And this time you can go all the way to the end because we won't be attaching any more wire. So I'll just attach that now. So get your 2 ends and put it through the hoop like so. Pull all the way around to there, and then so now you've got this much. And don't worry if there's too much at the end by the end of this pattern, because it's quite nice to have enough, like quite a bit in the tail for the rattle to properly stand up. So don't worry too much. So that's your added wire. So now get some tape, your floral tape, wrap it all the way around, and I'll meet you in a second. Okay, so now I've wrapped all my wire, all nicely wrapped on. So now we'll be moving on to round 98 to 101. So that is 4 rounds of just adding the small purple section onto your Ekans. So just do that and meet me at the end of 101. Okay, so this is how my work is looking at the end of round 73. So we were just adding more purple, and now we're going to be adding our black stripe again and another purple. So now we're just going to be doing that part, so just adding our black stripe and then another purple. Hello again, so I've placed those 2 rounds, so that was round 102 and 103. We're just placing his black stripe in, and that's his last black stripe. So the only time we'll use the black yarn now is for his eyes, his nose and his detail on his face. So now we'll be moving on to round 104 to 107, which will be the start of his tail. So it's just doing our normal purple rounds, which we've been doing throughout the project. So now I'll meet you at the end of 107. So this is how my work looks at the end of 107. So we were just increasing his little purple section, that is part of his tail, and now we're just going to start decreasing in the next round, which is 108. Okay, so now we're moving on to round 108, and this is a decrease round. So what we're going to do is, I'll try my best on the camera, but it is a bit fiddly, but I'll see what I can do. Right, so I've already taken the stitch marker out, and I'll try and get that wire out of the way. Right, so with this decrease, what you're going to do is place your single crochet and then invisible decrease in the following 2 stitches. So in that first stitch, place your single crochet, and I'll get my stitch marker. So just a reminder, you should still have 20 stitches on this round. So it was 20 stitches throughout this whole project apart from the very beginning. So now all these should be 20, including this round. Now if I try and, it's just trying to roll him round as you work. So we placed our single crochet, then do your invisible decrease. Oh, trying to catch all those threads in the back loop only. Pull up, Then go into the following one, following stitch if it wants to. Come on, there, pull up, and so I've just had to untangle a bit. So we've placed our first single crochet, then our invisible decrease, and now you move on to the next stitch and place your single crochet like so, then into the 2 following stitches, just the back loops, you're just catching them, and that will be your next invisible decrease, and pull through, roll over your work, then place your single crochet in the following stitch. I'm sorry if it's a bit weird on the camera. Then, oh, I told you that one doesn't like me. Then invisible decrease in those back loops, like so. Then go into the next stitch and single crochet. Then you go into those 2 and invisible decrease like so. So that's that, and then you change into your yellow yarn, so bring that tail forward and bring that tail round. So in that very last purple stitch we'll be changing into our yellow yarn, so insert, bring your yellow tail over. Sorry I keep pausing, I just have to keep changing these tails with this wire, and also with his body it's a bit restrictive. So please so change into your yellow yarn, pinch, wrap and pull through when it wants to, there we go, yarn and finish that stitch, pull that purple yarn and off we go. So we've changed. Now carry on with the decrease, so again place your single crochet, remembering to catch that yellow tail, roll your work round as you go, so catch the back loop only while catching that tail, go into the next stitch, pull up, oh, didn't quite catch all the threads again. There we go. So just like that, going into back loops of those 2 stitches and finish. Then keep rolling your work round and into the next stitch. Place your single crochet. And in the next 2 stitches, invisible decrease. Please don't mind that noise, it's the wire. So that's into the back loop. So I got a bit sidetracked, yeah. Back loop, bring up, back loop, bring up. Oh, while still trying to catch that tail. There we go. Finish that stitch. Then in that last stitch we will change back to our purple. So wrap that round the wire onto the other side and place a single crochet. Sorry about the stitch marker. Pull up and finish. So there we go. So at the end of this round you should have 14 stitches. So I'll double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So 14 stitches at the end of that round. So I hope that wasn't too hard to follow with my bad camera skills. So what we were doing was just decreasing round, so placing a single crochet and an invisible decrease as we go. So we did have 20 stitches and now we have 14. So now we'll be moving on to round 9. Oh, sorry, 109. So now what we will be doing is what we've been doing the whole time, is putting a single crochet in every single stitch. So go into every purple stitch with the purple yarn, just single crochet, then in that last purple V there, change into your yellow, then do a yellow single crochets and change back to the purple in the last stitch. So you'll be doing that for round 109, 110, 111, 112 and 113. So you're going to do that for 5 rounds and then I'll meet you at the end of 113. Okay, so this is how my work is looking at the end of round 113. So we're just doing exactly what we've been doing the whole time, just placing the purple in the purple and yellow in the yellow. So now we will be moving on to 114, which will be a decrease round. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've got everything in place now. So what we're going to do is decrease, invisible decrease in every single 2 stitches into 1. So I'll show you rather than try and do it on the camera. So what's going to happen is if I try and, sorry about this, there's those 2 there, will become 1. So there's, let me just count how many purple stitches. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 stitches that will become 4. Then in that purple stitch here, you'll change back into your yellow. Then you'll change these 2 and those 2 into 2. Then change back into your purple. Okay, because I know it's just a bit fiddly on the camera. So we will just be decreasing around the whole time. So decrease in every stitch, then change to yellow, then do your yellow decrease and change back to your purple. So do that and I'll meet you at the end of 114. So this is how my work is looking at the end of 114. So we were just decreasing in every single stitch. So you should have 8 stitches at the end of this round. So all you were doing was decreasing and changing into the colours at either end, just placing the single crochet as you change the colours. And the rest was just the invisible decrease. So just remember to keep stuffing your work as well. And now we will be moving on to 115. So there we go, I've stuffed it all up now, and I use a pencil just to go in and stuff your work. So whatever's easiest so you can get in there. Okay, so now we'll be moving on to 115 and that will be just doing as normal, putting your purple stitch single crochets in the purple stitches, change to your yellow in that last purple, go into the yellow stitches and then change in that final yellow stitch back to your purple. So you're going to do that for round 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. So 5 rounds of just increasing the purple, like the purple section, but it'll be a bit more smaller now. So we are just narrowing off the tail and then we'll be doing the rattle really soon. So I'll meet you at the end of 119. Okay, so this is how my work is looking at the end of round 119. So I've folded my wire now, half and half again. So that's how much his rattle will be. So now we're going to be doing the rattle, that's all yellow. So what we're going to do now is seal the purple tail. So get your hook and chain 1. So you should still have 8 stitches at the end of this. So do that, pull up a bit of a tail and cut, and then we'll weave that in a minute. Only wants to, there we go. So pull it all up and seal it down. So that's the end of the purple. Hey, no more purple.